Hello and welcome to the Absolute Beginner Guitar Lesson Series. My name is Oliver and today's lesson is lesson number 15. So let's get into the lesson. The subject of today's lesson is notes on the G string. And as the name implies, we're simply going to be learning to locate and identify notes on the G string. And in keeping with the method that we've been using, we're not going to identify all the notes on the G string. We're going to identify notes that are in the C major scale. We've been working with the C major scale from the beginning of the series. And by now, that should be familiar territory. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to get out a piece of paper. And I want you to write at the top of it, notes on the G string. And I want you to sort of put the information on the paper sort of in a list order. So starting at the top and working our way down, not going across the page. The idea is to sort of have a list working down the page. So the first note we want to look at is the G note. And the G note is the open string note, assuming you have your guitar tuned to standard pitch or concert pitch. So we have the G note, which is played at the open string. So that's the first thing I want you to write on your paper. So we're going to be using notes of the C major scale. So from here, we're just going to sort of pick up the scale at the note G and continue. So the next note of the scale is A. We're at G, which is the open string. And we need to find the note A. Well, our knowledge of music theory tells us that the note A is one step above the note G, or 2 frets higher on the same string. So from this open G, we're going to go up to the 2nd fret, and we have the A note. So that's the next thing I want you to write. So that's A. So we're at A, which is on the 2nd fret of the G string. Well, the next note of the scale is B. So we're at A at the 2nd fret. Our knowledge of theory tells us we need to move up a whole step to the B note. So that means we need to move up from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, and we have the note B. The next note of the scale is C. And our knowledge of music theory tells us that from B, which is where we are, to C, which is where we want to go, is a half step, or 1 fret higher on the same string. So I'm just going to slide my finger up from the 4th fret B up to the 5th fret C. And that's where we have our C note. And I want you to write down C equals 5th fret. Moving along, the next note of the scale is the D note. So we're at C, which is at the 5th fret on the G string. We need to move up to D. And we should know by now that from C to D is a whole step. And we need to move up 2 frets. So we're going to move up from this note at the 5th fret on the G string up to the note at the 7th fret on the G string. And we have the note D. So that's the next thing we want to write down. D equals 7th fret. The next note of the scale is E. We're currently at D at the 7th fret of the G string. We need to go up to E. So we need to move up a whole step, or 2 frets. So we're going to move up from the 7th fret at the D up to the 9th fret, and we have the E note. So I want you to write down E equals 9th fret. The next note of the scale is F. We're currently at the note E, and from E to F is a half step, or 1 fret away on the guitar. So we need to move up from this E to the F note. So we need to move up 1 fret from the 9th fret to the 10th fret, and we have F. So F equals 10th fret. So we're currently at the F note. The next note of the scale is G. Well, we know that from F to G is a whole step. We're at the F note on the 10th fret of the G string. We need to move up 2 frets to the 12th fret, and we have the G note, which is the octave to the open string note, which I mentioned, I think it was in lesson number 4, that the note at the 12th fret is the octave to the open note. So we're at the G on the 12th fret of the G string. And I just want to go a little bit further, and I want to finish this up with A. So we're at the 12th fret G, we need to go to A. So we need to move up a whole step. So we're going to move up from the 12th fret up to the 14th fret, and we have A. So A equals 14th fret. This is the basic fundamental information of the lesson. And once we have this information, we want to find ways to exercise our mind around this information so that we can work with it and turn it into knowledge. When we come back for the next lesson, we're going to start taking our knowledge of these notes on the G string, and we're going to start learning how to play major chords. So put in your time, put in your work, and I hope to see you there. Peace.